Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's 3:15 on a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday afternoon. We've got clear skies and a beautiful fresh breeze blowing. And yeah, today I'm going to be chatting to you. I'm going to be chatting on this live about leadership and the law of influence. So if you caught yesterday's live, um, I'd love to hear what you thought. I'd love to hear your comments. My name is Llewellyn Oliver, and I am on a 21-day journey um, into or deep dive into John Maxwell's book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. This book right here. And if you're interested in finding it, or if you want to know where to get it, it is available on Audible. It's available at all good bookstores. I can also pop a link to the John Maxwell bookstore, his online bookstore, where you could also get it. I am talking about, I'm going into this book not as this has got no, or I'm not an authorized John Maxwell person per se, but I'm just using this book as a method to improve my personal leadership. And I'm inviting you, my friends on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, wherever you're watching me, to join me in this journey. So if you're catching this live, let me know in the comments. Let's see who's with me today. If you are live, just drop a comment. Let me know that you're here so that I can see that you're here and that we can chat. If you are catching this video on the replay, won't you just also let me know in the comments? And if you do find value in what I'm saying, or you want to contribute to the discussion, this is a discussion. This is a journey of discovery, and I would love your comments. So drop a comment and let's just continue to chat. So today I'm talking about the law of influence. And I'm going to start by saying, if you don't have influence, you can never lead. Now, that is a strong, strong, strong statement, because leadership, people, one of the key one of the key characteristics of leadership is your level of influence. An important thing for us to know with leadership is that your title doesn't give you leadership. Your title merely gives you an opportunity to develop the leader within you, to develop your influence. True leadership cannot be awarded, it cannot be appointed, and it cannot be assigned. It comes from influence. And guys, here's the nugget of truth for today, that true leadership and influence has to be earned. You cannot walk into a position today and expect people to just follow you. You got to earn their respect. You got to earn the level of influence that you need. So today I want to just give you 5 myths. I want to give you 5 myths about leadership, and then I'm going to talk about a little challenge of how we can gauge ourselves and our own level of leadership to see where we are. So let's talk about the 5 myths of leadership. John Maxwell so beautifully put it. The 5 leadership myths are the management myth, the entrepreneur myth, the knowledge myth, the pioneer myth, and the position myth. So let's look at these and let's talk about it. So what is the management myth? And this is the first mistake that many people make, is they feel that when you become a manager, you automatically become a leader. Guys, that is so far from the truth. The best way to test whether a person can lead rather than just manage is to ask that person to create positive change. You see, leadership is about influencing people to follow you. Management focuses on maintaining systems and processes. Managers can maintain direction, but they can't change it. That is something that a true leader, an influencer, can do. The second myth, and this is something that I've come to realize, especially in business. I've been in the advertising industry for well over 17 years, and most people have a misconception that an entrepreneur is naturally a leader, or a good salesman is naturally a leader. Guys, the reality is that you might be able to persuade people to buy or persuade people for a moment, but that doesn't hold long-term influence. Leadership boils down to your level of influence. And like we said earlier, leadership, that leadership influence is earned over time. The knowledge myth. This is where a lot of people really mistake it. You know, Sir Francis Bacon once said that knowledge is power. One of my mentors actually said, it's not just the knowledge that is power, but it's the application of knowledge that is power. It's what you do with it, because IQ doesn't necessarily equate to leadership. You can have 5 doctorates, you can have master's degrees, you can be the most educated person under the sun, but if you haven't developed the leader in you, if you haven't developed your skills and influence that people would want to follow you wherever you go, you haven't really become a leader. Sadly, my friend, you become a manager with a lot of knowledge and and a high IQ. You know, people also mistake the fact that if you're first, you're the leader. You know, if we look at Sir Edmund Hillary, the first man to reach the summit of Mount Everest, you would think that he's the leader. But in essence, he was just the first person. He was the pioneer. He wasn't the leader. He was actually following another leader. He was actually following John Hunt. To be a leader, a person has to be out front and have people coming behind him, following their lead and acting on their vision. So guys, this brings me to an important point, not part of the myths, but part of the qualifying criteria of leadership, and that is vision. Leaders have vision for the future, and they have influence to be able to inspire people, to influence people to follow them, and to engage with them on the journey, on the direction that they feel they should be going. And finally, the position myth. You know, it's not the position that makes the leader. It's the leader that makes the position. In the advertising industry in the mid-90s, there was a major shakeup, and my friends in the ad industry can relate. One of the biggest names in the industry back then was Cordiant. Formerly, let's see, yeah. So one of the biggest names was Cordiant, and what actually happened there was their directors or the investors forced the board to dismiss Maurice Saatchi. And guys, I don't think there's a person in the ad industry that doesn't know about the name Saatchi and Saatchi, because what happened was, regardless of the fact that he was dismissed from this organization, when he left, a number of leaders left with him, a number of people, creatives left with him, and importantly, guys, a number of big clients left with him to the formation of Saatchi and Saatchi. What happened? Why? How could this happen? Because people were happy with their agency. But what Cordiant didn't understand, didn't grasp, that Maurice Saatchi had amazing influence. And when he moved, the fact that he didn't have the title anymore at Cordiant didn't detract from his leadership influence. So when he moved, the key clients left with him, the key agency staff left with him, and he was able to form one of the most formidable agencies that still has a name today. So who is the real leader? How do you become a real leader? How do you develop that level of influence that people would want to follow you? Well, guys, it's simple. Hard work is required to gain influence and to earn the right to become the leader. Did you hear that? It's hard work that's required. It's massive action that's required, because you have to earn the right to become a leader. Leadership is influence, nothing less, nothing more. So how do you become a leader? And this is something that's important to me. You know what? If you want to develop your leadership skills, learn to lead without leverage. Learn to lead without a title that forces people to follow you. So how do you do that? Guys, join a voluntary association, join a voluntary organization, become a volunteer. The very essence of all power to lead or to influence lies in getting other people to follow you, to participate. So if you can get other people to participate with you in a voluntary basis, in a voluntary organization, guys, you are one step closer to unleashing the leader within you. So I want to just encourage you today. This was a short live, and I really hope that you found value in what I've been saying and what I've been sharing. I'm really enjoying. I'm only on the second day of the 21 days of my deep dive into the irrefutable laws of leadership. So let me share with you what I'm going to be doing from this point on, or for the rest of, or for the rest of today. Is I want to look at how can I develop the leader within me, and here's something that you can consider. Here's a practical application. Consider those around you. In what way do they influence you? Do you have a mentor? Do you have a leader that you're following? Think about how do they influence you? In what ways do they influence you? Then I want you to think about, in what ways are you influencing others? Are you influencing others? And then finally, what can you do? What can you change to become a more effective influencer? What can you change to become a more effective influencer? Here's a tip, guys. It starts with listening. Become a better listener and start learning what interests and motivates people around you. Can you add to that list? Can you tell me what can we change? What can we add? What can we practically add to become more effective influencers? Well, guys, this is Llewellyn. This is my second of 21 days delving into the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. I got a shout out to my mentor, Aslam Dutoit, who actually inspired this journey and challenged us to actually go on a journey of discovery over the next 21 days and to share it with our network, with our friends and family. So shout out, Aslam. Thanks for the challenge. And I really trust the guys that I've brought you some value. If you have found value in this discussion, let me know in the chat. If there's anything you want to discuss or add to this conversation, this is a conversation, but I need you to chat to me as well. This is Llewellyn, just signing out and saying thank you for watching this video. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. I'll be live again tomorrow, 3:15, same time, same place. And I hope to see you live tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.